This is News Today. The Tema Development Corporation says prior to the demolition exercise carried out at Sraha East, notice was given to residents. The Public Relations Officer of the corporation, Dorothy Asarikuma, says areas were part of encroached government land sold off by landguards to residents without their permits. But chiefs of the area are still claiming ownership and are heading to court.
Speaking to Joynews off camera, Public Relations of the Tema Development Corporation stressed the demolition exercise was part of measures being implemented to acquire back the 740 acres of government land legally sold to residents. She adds the exercise became very necessary following the blatant disregard of their notices given to developers to put an end to their activities.
If they think that we have sidestepped a court, the best place to go back is the court and cite us for contempt. They use the court, it's like they use the court to place an injunction on you so that you can't develop. By the time you go, they'll be developing. 26 last year, I think 26th May, it was a Sunday, we met the community. Because you see, because that area is heavily encroached, over 740 acres, community 23 alone, all of them heavily encroached. So we looked at the situation, and then, you see, and so we told them that some would have to go for your own good. And we have plans to scheme the area properly. But whatever projects we are going to do there, if it is whatever, houses, flats, whatever, it is for the community.
She challenged the chiefs and residents who are claiming ownership of the land to go to court. But the Agbafuacha of the disputed land says TDC refused on several occasions to attend the court hearing to address the matter, and he finds it strange for TDC to embark on such an exercise. He further appealed to residents to calm down whilst their legal team work on the issue.
So far as the land belongs to us, we are always defending the land because we have seen that they were finding other means to capture the land from us. And our land is not in the acquisition. Apart from the chief and the family, no one can face TDC because TDC is a corporation. And we know their time have expired. And right now it's a private entity. When we ask those who are destroying the houses, before you can destroy a house, I think it must be court order. Where is their order? They say order from above. So right now we are meeting our people, including our clients, which their buildings have been destroyed, to find measures to put in order. Yesterday, we sit down with the lawyer. So they inform us to come and collect documents of the people because those who build there have building permit.
A visit to the town reveals residents are still salvaging their property from the debris. Those who have other places to go were seen parking out, but others are still spending the night outside and under trees, praying for a miracle. Matilda Vamagan for Joy News.
The New Patriotic Party will on Saturday, January 25, 2014, hold regional congresses across the country to elect the executives for each region to steer the affairs of the party for the next 4 years. The elections for regional executives will then be followed by the widely anticipated national executive elections on March 1, 2014. Director of Elections Martin J. Mensah-Kosa has told Joy News enough preparations have been done to ensure the smooth conduct of the elections in all the regions.
Preparations are very far advanced. We are about 98% off. The remaining 2% are the ballots to be cast on Saturday, from printing of ballot papers to conveying logistics plus any other materials to be used to the regions. The Electoral Commission is going to man this process for us, and so they have begun the process of dispatching these materials to the regions. Voting will be done simultaneously across the 10 regions of this country at the regional capitals in 10 voting centers. We have issues of accreditation for media, security arrangements to ensure that there is proper security at all of these voting centers, accreditation for observers who would be coming from all walks of life, international community and home alike. We also have accreditation for the delegates who will be participating in this election. The mode of voting is just like the normal national elections that we know. There is an album for each constituency that we call the voters register. And this will be administered by checking out the persons who appear to vote. Once you satisfy the election officer that you are indeed a delegate, then you go through. There are various categories of voters who will be participating in Saturday's vote. The election starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 5 p.m. And the counting of votes will be done, winners will be declared, and then we move on from there. We have a number of requirements to look out for in every candidate, and every candidate who passed the vetting had to satisfy those requirements. One of them was the qualities that we needed in hard-working officers of the party. Luckily to say, the over 267 persons who offered themselves, men and women, all acquitted themselves well. The party is very convinced that at all levels of this election, persons who went through the vetting, qualified, and are up for this election will serve the party's interest well ahead and during the 2016 elections.
The Electricity Company of Ghana says power supply shortfalls from the Ghana Grid Company has prompted the company to embark on emergency power management exercise. I spoke earlier with the Public Relations Officer of the ECG, William Watson. Let's take a listen.
We are not rationing power. I think that we are not. The graphic is just hinting our customers that for some time now they have been going off at the peak period without any notice or without any information. And that we are explaining, we did explain to them that it is not load shedding. We have to manage what we call the emergency load management. We have to manage the load during the peak because of one reason or the other, according to the directive from Gridco, our supplier. Gridco takes the power from different sources. You know, we have about 10 or so, whether it's coming from Buyo or Akusumo or Pon or whatever. We have Abuazi, we have Tema, a lot. We have the independent power producers assistant, we have Azobli, we have Senate, and so on and so forth. So it just informs me that there's a challenge in the system. There's a deficit in the system, so maybe reduced by 30 megawatts or 50 megawatts, then I have to comply, or the system will collapse. Yeah. We are in the industry together, and we are dealing with machines. And you know how machines are. These are not human beings. These human beings, we break down sometimes and have to go to hospital. And so if they call and tell us that there's a challenge in the system, and so we should go down by maybe 10 megawatts for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours, then we have to comply. So this is what has been happening. In fact, this week we have to shed about 3 times during this week. And so we're explaining to Graphica this is what is happening, and that's why our customers are complaining that they have been going off without any communication, and we try to explain to them that this is an emergency situation. And we are hoping, according to what people told us, we are hoping that we'll be able to rectify the situation, and then everything will come back to normal.
Facilities at the Komla National Park in the northern region are in poor state, and this is hampering efforts by the tourism authorities in attracting more guests.
The Komla National Park stretches from the northern to the upper west region and covers over 4,570 square kilometers. It is 146 kilometers from Tamale, the northern regional capital, and 690 kilometers from the national capital, Accra. There is only one main park entrance located 3 kilometers from Larabanga off the Damango Solar Road. Roads here are in a very deplorable state. The park offers a guided walk and drive safari where visitors are able to spot and view wildlife animals. Visitors to the park say even though it is an exciting attraction, its accommodation facilities and access routes are in poor state. Tourism officer Oliver Chelewura says patronage has gone down drastically due to this. The major exciting experience why visitors will keep on visiting the Komla National Park is that it is one of the best examples of undisturbed Guinea savanna landscape where visitors are able to get close to and have personal encounters with savanna diverse wildlife. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin's report.
So easy.
The Bunahafo Regional Minister Paul Evans Adu says those who are citing the presidency for corruption are only out to destroy the president's name. He was swearing in the new district chief executive for Dumor Eastern Wenchi Municipal at Sunyani.
The new district chief executive for Dumor East is Frank Kumi, while Wenchi Municipal has Akib Dauda as MCE. The Bunahafo Regional Minister noted that corruption is deep-rooted in every fabric of Ghanaian society. Therefore, President John Mahama cannot be blamed for this. The regional minister therefore charged Frank Kumi and Akib Dauda, after taking the oath of office, to work hard at reducing the level of corruption in society, especially in their localities. The municipal chief executive for Wenchi, Akib Dauda, told Joy News that his priority would be getting everyone on board for the accelerated development of the municipality.
My first priority will be to bring everybody on board so that the development project can strive. I will be calling on all the political parties in Wenchi to come together and rally behind me so that the development project that everybody is looking for can be materialized.
President John Mahama says Komla Dumor was a fantastic journalist that Ghana gave to the world. Speaking on the BBC's Focus on Africa, he said Ghanaians should remember Komla for his professionalism.
I got to know Komla when I was Minister of Communications, and of course, because of my work, I related with him not only in a professional way, but he became a true friend. I cherish the friendship we shared. His death came as a shock to all of us who knew him closely, and we have lost a very good friend. Ghanaians will remember Komla for the professionalism with which he approached his work. I mean, when Komla was behind the microphone or in front of the TV screen, I mean, he became larger than life. I mean, Komla was just there. He was a good interviewer. He asked the right questions. And if you were watching or listening to any program Komla was doing, you felt like it was you asking the questions, because any question you wanted to ask Komla will ask it. And I think that Ghanaians should take an inspiration from his life. And for all the young people, the sky is the limit.
And across the world, tributes have been pouring in, and I'm going to read a few from some of Komla Dumor's former colleagues. And Nana Dankwa from Sugarland, Texas, the former Joy FM presenter, says, I never imagined us, that is the multimedia family, coming together to celebrate Komla without him being in our midst. It doesn't feel right, and it just isn't fair that one of our very own has accomplished so much and still had a lot going for him and loyal audience. I can't wrap my mind around it, Lord, but I find comfort in the fact that you created us and only you know what's best. The only way I can fathom our dear friend's departure is that God must have really needed a news presenter for Heaven's Broadcasting Corporation, so he called one of the best, the boss player. It goes on and on. And then there is one also from Ashiokai Krong from Minneapolis, Minnesota, formerly of Mobitel Traffic Watch Joy FM, and it starts with "I feel good, pa-na-na-na-na-na, I knew that I would." Now that soundtrack to James Brown's song always reminds me of our Mobitel Traffic Watch crew. For us, it wasn't just work; it was lots of laughs, and it truly felt like family. I have kept those memories, and now they are the ones I keep going back to, thinking of you and our little squad. I remember starting in Legon and talking to you about quitting Joy FM so I could have more time to chill with my friends. You convinced me not to and told me how you yourself were making it work, balancing school and work, and of course sharing. You told me when I graduated my experience would pay off big time. That was one of the best advice I have ever received. Komla, You always worked so hard and you always drove for excellence in whatever you did. You brought such joy with a great sense of humor, and you made everyone you came across feel special, as witnessed from the tributes the world over. My mom will miss you calling and asking if you can come over for Banku and Fetri Dechi. Thank you so much for being part of my life. It is so much richer for knowing you. And that's from Ashiokai Akrong, Minneapolis, Minnesota, a former Mobitel Traffic Watch, Joy FM. And then there is a tribute from Linda Fumi Kuti from London, former production assistant, Super Morning Show, Joy FM. Komla, the news of your death hits us all hard. Very, very hard, Komla. You were such a professional when it came to your job, but outside work, you were such a comedian. We were family at Joy FM, and Katie was our father. We learned so much together. Your stay with us on this earth may have been too short, but the Lord our God knows why. So we give him the glory for everything. We shall cherish the memories, and they will linger on. The Joy FM family has lost a brother. Katie has lost a son. Komla, you live on. Memories of your life on earth remain. Rest in peace of the Lord, dear comrade. Akosia Labiosei from Minneapolis, also formerly of Joy FM Newsroom, says, what can I say in such a difficult time? I don't think words can even describe the pain and vacuum felt as a result of the boss players' death. It has shaken all of us to the core and given us another reminder of how fragile life is. I can only thank God for giving the boss player to us, and also thank the boss player for teaching us what it truly means to serve our maker, our family, our country, and the world with such passion and dedication. With the talents God has blessed us with. Komla, my Joy FM comrade, sleep well. You will be missed. It be you alone, they know your sins.
Black Stars of Ghana, representing. Here we go. It's 11 on the first one. One more to go. All right. Yes, we all know who won. Well done. Good one. Hey.
Welcome back to News Today. Let's get into some business stories. Some investments and brokerage firms have embraced the new minimum capital requirement of 1 million cedis. They are to pay by end of March 2014 to be able to invest on the stock market. They believe the move will strengthen their market and create liquidity on the local bourse.
The Ghana Stock Exchange in 2012 hinted of a review of the capital requirement of its licensed dealing members, LDMs, including investment houses, brokerage firms and fund managers, to ensure they have the capacity to manage huge transactions and support the drive by the GSE to commercialize its operations. The official announcement was that by close of 2013, they would have reviewed the capital requirement for these firms from 100,000 cedis to 1 million cedis. Although managers of the local bourse has increased the threshold 10 times, they say the move is commendable.
There is no doubting that the more funds you have, the bigger the business that you can do. Because what this does is actually to strengthen the brokerage houses to actually do bigger business deals in terms of even underwriting companies that want to list on the market. Because if the Ghana alternative market, if you wanted to list on it, you could sponsor a company, you could underwrite a company to list on the Ghana alternative market. So it does strengthen. But then the other thing is that through proprietary trading of the brokerage houses, where we also deal in the shares, we buy the shares for our own proprietary. I mean, it helps. Because the more funds you have, the better you're able to take positions on the markets.
It's always good that you have a good base. you don't want to fail trades and all that, the ones that you have purchased yourself. Okay, so if you look at it in general, like I said, I think that it will support the market in every aspect of it, whether it's the GSE willing to go commercial or because of the volumes that we are getting as a result of the pensions. I think however you look at it, it's still good for the market.
They also believe the new requirement will encourage more brokerage houses to list on the exchange.
So if you have somebody who has some capitalization of about 500,000, another one 600,000, there's no reason not to come together and make a bigger brokerage house. So that can even bring about some even better competition, because you have in fact, currently you have a situation where 80% of the trades on the Ghana Stock Exchange are done by just about 5 to 7 companies. Meanwhile, there are about 21 brokerage houses. If we do this, it will help strengthen all the other brokerage houses, and those that cannot meet it can come together and be a bigger force.
They, however, want the Ghana Stock Exchange and the Securities and Exchange Commission not to immediately review the requirement upward going forward.
You may have some very good deals, but as a broker, if you don't have money to buy, it only profits only your investors or your clients. But you would also want to take advantage and make more money on the market. The margins are not very big. Okay, so if you can take advantage and make more out of price appreciations and dividends, why not? So I will look at it as something that is positive for the market. But if it should come again, it will be good to know ahead of time, then we can plan and prepare for that.
They confirmed a number of their counterparts will be able to pay before the March deadline, having known of the review for almost 3 years. Abigail Adomakwenji for Joy News.
Let's check the stock market now, and David Odoidankwa from the Gold Coast Fund Management is here with us. And what's it been like?
It's been good.
Yeah. Take us through trading. Monday to Thursday?
Mondays to Thursday. But before that, I want us to just do a recap of what happened last year, 2013. I mean, some investors are they've heard a lot about PZC gaining 300 and something %.
So
today.
Before you get into that, has it increased trading?
We'll come to 2014. So you just let me just give a bit of. But PZC, in 2014 is not that doing well. Yeah, it's consistently falling on the stock market, and that might be one or two reasons that I wouldn't like to just disclose yet. It's personal to me, so I'll just leave it out there. So we were talking about some stocks that gained on the stock market last year. Apart from PZC that we talked about, we also had BOPP, that's the benzo oil palm plantation, also gaining up to 129.29%, with Car, one of my favorite stocks, also gaining 162.16%. We had EGL also gaining to 91.67%. GCB also adding up to 130, and GGLB also adding 136.
That's how all the stocks performed end of the year.
And end of year. We've been hearing much about yes. They used to tell us that a lot of people were able to make a lot of returns on the market, and even some of these stocks were able to hit their peak, but gradually because of the volatility on the market had to drop a little. I mean, ending up with this particular year to date. And looking, we said the market was good last year.
It was.
But not all the stocks that were. I mean, we have stocks like ACI, PVC, SPL, TBL, Transol, Talu, and the only exchange fund on the market also, I mean, losing on their prices at year close. So those some stocks did well, others too couldn't just even sustain their year open prices, thereby decreasing on this. As we've talked about the year to date appreciation already 78.80, and that is the fifth most yielding since the inception of the stock exchange. And when you're looking from 2009 up to date, then is the most yielding, looking at that one. So then maybe we just look at what happened to the week, or if you give me time, I'll just go through some of the stocks that traded very well on the market, because you know when you come to the stock market, the volumes traded on the exchange also count. So I would like us to just go through some of the stocks. We had a stock like HFC trading the most with 37.59% of the total volume of the year, but that was due to some private placement that they did somewhere last year with some investors coming in to acquire a chunk of their shares, so that contributed to that 37.59, and that amounted to 117,659,419 shares trading. We had Cal following with 45.7 million. ETI also followed, EBJ, EGL, UTB, GCB, SIC, FML, and MLC. And when you are linking this, you can see that all the stocks that were able to do much well, you can see them in this list. So it means that volume also moved in a way with the returns on the market. So these are some of the tactics we use in studying the stocks that will be performing on the stocks that are doing well on the stock market.
Right, and a lot of that is for 2013.
That was for 2013, so less.
But like you said, when 2014 started, I mean, beginning 2014, activity has been slow.
Activities has been, I would say, okay. It has not been that slow. You see the market going up and down. And I will not just, you know, the economic indicators in the country are not the best, especially the depreciation of the local currency is really...
it's depreciating too fast.
It's depreciating too fast. I mean, looking at the interbank, the CD have depreciated up to almost 7 point something %. That is interbank. So looking at the forex market or on the open market, then it means the CD had depreciated more than that on the open market. So that is not a good thing for investors. And anytime they see this, then it scares them off. Because I want to keep my money in dollars, I want to keep my money in foreign currencies. So why do I have to bring my investment to Ghana, invest on the Ghana Stock Exchange? Now we are saying the composite index is around 3.40 year-to-date %. But when you measure doing the dollar adjustment, you are having a depreciation. So meaning if somebody is having his money in terms of dollars and the person has invested on the Ghana Stock Exchange, that person is receiving a depreciation. And one thing that is also happening, you can see the European economies were down for the previous years, and even the American economy for last year, the beginning of the year, up to somewhere the third quarter wasn't that strong. So a lot of businesses were coming, but this is the time that these economies are rising back again. The American economy is forecast to pick up again and start yielding to people that will put money into that economy, and the European economies too are stabilizing. So if you have all these in place and our CD keeps depreciating, then it means all those foreign investors that came into our country for better returns, they will now be looking back outside. I mean, trying to just get the better options over there again. So I think it's time that we do a lot about.
Do we expect the stocks to revive?
Yes, you know,
because if I have a dollar, I'll forex trade, then invest in the stocks.
That is it. But depending, that is what I'm saying, depending on where you are. If you're Ghanaian using the Ghana CD for all your transactions, then the stock market is still preferable, I mean, for you when you want a market to invest. But somebody who wants to keep his money in dollars because he deals in dollar transaction, that person will be scared away by the depreciation of the local currency, and thereby will have to go to some money markets that he will get something. I mean, he knows that this is the rate, or he will try to just put the money, save it in dollars, and let it be there. Even if I'm not getting anything, at least I'm assured of what my value. When the time is due, I just take my dollar and do whatever I'm doing. Absolutely. So the government, if we really want to see the best on the stock market, then the government should, I mean, go ahead and do a lot about our city. I mean, they said they are... There are measures out there to just, I mean, I think one of these days we talk about these measures, whether they will be able to stabilize the CD or not. But I think the depreciation of the CD is really affecting the market. Because looking at the individual stocks on the exchange, you can see some of the stocks have very good potential. When you analyze them, they have very good potential to yield. But when you are buying, then you're also thinking about the negative aspect or the other side of it. Is my money going to be stable due to the economic performance of the country? Then this these are some of the things that the foreign investors will be looking forward to. So the week, so just giving a recap of what happened within the week. The week opened with the composite index at 2.78 but as of yesterday, it closed at 3.40. So you can see gradually the market is yielding, and we have some stocks already making 7% year to date on the exchange. So you can see how some of the stocks are poised to what give investors very good returns. The financial index also closed yesterday at 5.78 year to date percent, 5.78% year to date, and the Gold Coast All Share Index also closing at 6.32%, with the dollar adjusted measure closing at 0.73 depreciation.
I see.
So you can see the dollar is really affecting us.
Thank you very much indeed, David. It's a pleasure talking business with you. David Odoi Dankwa is with the Gold Coast Fund Management. We've been talking the stock exchange and your investment tips as well. I'm sure you picked one or two. But let's talk about the VAT now. Businesses will have to operate without the new value-added tax invoices for a few more weeks. Now, this is because the Ghana Revenue Authority is yet to give out invoices to cover the new VAT rates, which took effect about 2 weeks ago. Joynews Today ASA has gathered business owners may get the new invoices in about a month or two.
From restaurants, supermarkets, boutiques, pharmacies to jewelry shops, businesses are not issuing VAT receipts with the new rate of 17.5%. The 2.5% upward adjustment affects the VAT rate, which used to be 12.5%. The National Health Insurance Levy, which is charged together with the VAT, remains stable at 2.5%. Through interactions with some business owners, Joy News gathered some are charging the new rate but are still issuing VAT invoices bearing the old rate of 15%, while they await new invoices that they have applied for.
We are also managing the same as our suppliers are managing. They try to increase the VAT by the same margin and issue us a VAT invoice covering the 17.5%. Even though it's not being issued by the GRS, we also try to adjust our product by the same margin. But we also have an old VAT invoice, which we use to anyone who requests for a VAT invoice, we issue that VAT invoice to.
Others are issuing their own receipts with the new rates.
Since they implemented the new VAT and we applied the book, so I think a week or 2 weeks we'll get it. We have our own invoice. So the same invoice will follow to VAT office and they will calculate from the VAT.
Businesses that use GRA authorized electronic generating devices have the new rates automatically generated for each transaction they make.
We've updated it. It's been changed in the system. So now we use the 17.5%. Once we have the printed one, we use the printed one for them, because it's been done in the system already.
It, however, seems businesses operating under the flat rate scheme get to maintain the 3% rate until otherwise stated by the commissioner.
I'm using the 3%, and which is the flat rate. And since those increments came out, I spoke to some of the authority, which is the Ghana Revenue Authority, and then they said I can go ahead to use the 3% because we are not included. We can still use our receipts.
Some businesses issue these transaction receipts when customers care enough to demand them, just like I demanded a receipt for my purchases at the stationery shop. At Festive Technology dealers in computer accessories and stationery, I came in and got myself a Dell mouse. I also got myself a call card holder and sharpener and eraser for my little girl. I also got this flexible pencil for my little girl as well. And I took a VAT receipt for it, and the total is 17 cedis, and this is a flat rate scheme invoice I have here. So they charge a flat rate of 3%. And since all items in the shop are VAT inclusive, the 17 cedis that was calculated for me on this VAT receipt is what I paid. Yeah, so when you are given receipts like this, do you bother to check the VAT rates?
Usually I do, but today I even had to ask questions why the increases, though they didn't tell me. They just said, oh, as for this year, you know, things are hard and so there are increases and so on.
Conversely, there are buyers who simply do not bother with such receipts or what they are charged as VAT.
After maybe buying all this, maybe they list the price down, you will see that VAT maybe 20 pesos or bar. I've never bothered to ask of it before.
No, I don't know anything about that.
But you bought food. Don't you care to know about the food?
No, we know that it's a food. We buy it and we eat.
So you
we don't care how much of the VAT and things. We don't care about that.
Sources at the Ghana Revenue Authority tell Joy News the bill allowing increment was assented, gazetted, and implemented within 10 days, and the limited period made it impossible to procure new invoices. Joy News again gathered the new VAT invoices may be available in a month or two, so in the meantime, businesses have been authorized to manually adjust charges to reflect the new rates.
Samsung Electronics, the world's biggest maker of mobile phones and television sets, has reported a drop in quarterly profits for the first time in 2 years. Net profits was $7.3 trillion, and that's about 6.8 billion pounds in the October to December period, down 11% from the previous 3 months. Samsung's earnings were hit by a drop in margins in its mobile phone division, which saw operating income fall 18% quarter on quarter. The special bonus payment and currency fluctuations also hit its earnings. Microsoft, the world's largest software firm, has posted better than expected earnings for the October to December quarter. The firm reported a net income of $6.56 billion, about 3.94 billion pounds for the quarter, up from the $6.38 billion a year earlier. Its earnings were boosted by strong sales of its new Xbox game console and its Surface tablets during the holiday season. The company also saw strong demand from businesses for its cloud services. Overall, the firm's revenue rose 14% during the quarter to $24.5 billion. Its shares also rose close to 4% on the news in after-hours trading. That's the lobby for business. We'll do some sports after this. So remember, Ace broadcaster and BBC anchor Komla Dumor.
Black Stars of Ghana representing. Here we go. It's 11 on the first one. One more to go. All right. Yes, we all know who won. Well done. Good one. Hey.
My colleague Israeli has been in London in connection with the death of Komla Dumor. Here's an interview he conducted in partnership with ABM Channel in London.
We're here at the Trinity Baptist Church at West Norwood in London, and we're going to be speaking to some members of the Ghanaian community on the passing of Komla Dumor, the broadcaster who used to work with the British Broadcasting Corporation. I'm here with one lady. Please tell me your name.
My name is Doreen Efina Williams.
Okay. How did the news come to you about Komla's passing?
Actually, my former roommate texted me and said Komla Dumor is no more, and I was like, what are you talking about? Because she knew Komla Dumor used to come to our room in Mensa Sabah Hall to come and collect my notes, my lecture notes, because he used to miss some of the lectures because he was working with Joy FM whilst he was doing the, I think, the super...
Morning show?
No, the Joy Traffic Watch.
Or Mobitel Traffic Watch?
Mobitel Traffic Watch. So he used to miss some of the lectures. So immediately after, he would come to my room and collect my notes. So my roommate knew him. So when she heard the news, she texted me.
Oh, so for you, I mean, it directly hit you because it was somebody you knew personally?
Yes, I knew him personally. The last time I saw Komla was in March 1999 when we were graduating, and I've not seen him any longer. But he was a very nice guy with his command of English, with his stature, and with his tonation. One would have thought that Komla would be pompous, and working with a very prestigious radio station at that time, we would have thought Komla would be pompous, but he wasn't. He was so down to earth. He was always smiling. Everything that people are saying about Komla, I can attest to the fact that they are very true.
Right, there's been talk about the fact that I was speaking to the Ghana High Commissioner to London, and he was saying that the Ghanaian community is eager to see a funeral for him here in London before the body is sent back to Accra. Is it something you subscribe to?
Yeah, I subscribe to that because I wouldn't, because of my children and my job, I wouldn't be able to go to Ghana. So I will see it as a very good opportunity for us to have our own here. We need to pay our debts to him because he's a precious gem. He's left a very good legacy that we are all tapping into, so we need to pay our dues. So the London Ghanaian community in London, we have to have our share of it.
Right, thank you very much. Right, so we have another gentleman here who's going to be speaking to us about Komla Dumor's passing and how the community here is taking it. Good evening, and this is Joy News on Multi TV and also on ABN as well. Right. How did the news of, first of all, what's your name?
My name is Frank.
Okay, what do you do?
Oh, at the moment, I'm home at the moment, looking after my kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. How did the news come to you?
It was a bit shocked. I heard on Sunday after church. But the whole thing was, he was a nice guy, but no one expected his life to be cut short like that. We don't know what happened, but I felt because anytime I'm Ghanaian, anytime I go to Accra, I hear him a lot on the radio. And I mean, the way he is, everyone falls in love with him, the voice and everything, the way he is, his attitude and everything. So I pray that, I mean, God will take care of his kids and the wife. I mean, the Holy Spirit is our comforter, so I pray that the Spirit of God will comfort the whole family. It's not an easy thing to take it because I know how it feels, because I lost my dad as a young child. So I hope the whole family is being comforted by God. And I hope the whole family will go through whatever, the whole Ghanaian society will help him out, the whole family out. So,
are you one of those people who thinks that we should hold a funeral here in London for him before the body's sent back to Accra?
I believe he was working for BBC in London, but a funeral over here would do because he's got a lot of fans around. They will support, and we all come. So I mean, we all do love him, but I believe a funeral over here will do. So whatever happens, I mean, we are in to support. We will support him and support the whole family as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Sit down. Black Stars of Ghana representing. Here we go. It's 11 on the first one. One more to go. All right.
Right, so you just watched an interview with Israel Lai in London, an interview conducted in partnership with ABN in London. Let's get into showbiz now. The Film Producers Association here in Ghana may be heading into a losing battle with your new directive to arrest drivers who screen their films in their vehicles. According to entertainment lawyer Michael Quake Jr., the country's weak copyright system will make implementation of the directive difficult. He was speaking on the AM show on Joy News. Right, we'll show you that later, but 19-year-old pop star Justin Bieber has appeared before a Miami court accused of driving under the influence of alcohol, marijuana and prescription drugs. Police said the Canadian was arrested early on Thursday after racing his sports car on a Miami Beach street. That'll be all for this recap of our headlines. Electricity Company of Ghana has embarked on a Some investments and brokerage firms embrace new minimum capital of 1 million cedis they are to pay by end of March 2014 to be able to invest on the stock market. Thank you very much for staying through the hour. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. You can also leave your tributes to Komla Dumor on myjoyonline.com/K Dumor. My name is Kimini Nyamani Amano. See you later.